Tyreek Hill's enduring brotherhood with Patrick Mahomes, a legacy that transcends the jersey. The enduring brotherhood between Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes defies the constraints of team affiliations. It's a bond forged in fire, built on trust, and rooted in shared brilliance. The Kansas City Chiefs have risen to prominence as one of the most dominant powerhouses in the National Football League, and a major catalyst behind this reign has been their unmatched ability to discover, develop, and unleash wide receiver talent of the highest order. Over the past several seasons, the Chiefs have masterfully assembled a lineup of electrifying playmakers, athletes whose presence on the field injects adrenaline into every snap. It's not merely about individual stardom, it's a tradition, a continuum of explosive excellence that transcends specific lineups or fleeting seasons. As another title pursuit looms, Patrick Mahomes faces a familiar yet constantly shifting challenge, recalibrating synergy with a revamped receiving core. Though the faces may change, the competitive edge remains razor sharp. The Chiefs' front office has adopted a methodical and visionary approach, targeting not just athletes with blistering speed or jaw-dropping agility, but cerebral competitors, relentless workers, and mentally sharp performers capable of thriving in Andy Reid's high-octane offensive ecosystem. This philosophy has borne Pro Bowl caliber stars, names etched into the franchise's rich tapestry. But even among this pantheon of pass-catching greats, few have captivated Chiefs Kingdom quite like Tyreek Hill. His arrival wasn't just a personnel move, it was a cultural moment, a blazing force of nature whose unmatched speed and game-breaking instincts reshaped the team's very identity. Selected in the 5th round of the 2016 NFL Draft, Hill entered the league surrounded by questions and controversy, viewed by many as a raw prospect with tantalizing upside but uncertain projection. Yet the Chiefs scouts saw deeper. They saw beyond the numbers. They saw a once-in-a-generation athlete with the potential to alter the geometry of defenses and the tempo of games. Over 6 thrilling seasons in Kansas City, Hill became one of the league's most feared weapons. He terrorized secondaries with his vertical explosiveness, but what made him truly elite was his versatility, his ability to slash through defenses on screens, slants, and sideline routes. His presence demanded constant attention. Coordinators had to scheme for him every down, often leaving teammates in favorable matchups that Mahomes was all too happy to exploit. The Mahomes-Hill duo quickly evolved into one of the most exhilarating quarterback-receiver tandems in modern football. From the moment Mahomes seized the starting reins, their connection ignited. Hill's warp speed acceleration perfectly harmonized with Mahomes' bazooka arm and uncanny improvisation. The result? A stream of jaw-dropping highlights, viral moments, and soul-crushing touchdowns that rewrote what was possible on the gridiron, yet Hill's influence extended well beyond the highlight reels. He was a tone setter in practice, a mentor in the locker room, and a culture carrier on game day. His meticulous preparation and hunger for excellence became infectious, raising the standard for everyone around him. Hill helped solidify a mentality in Kansas City, one of dominance, precision, and relentless pursuit of greatness. When Hill made the decision to join the Miami Dolphins, it marked a pivotal chapter for both player and franchise. For Hill, it was a leap into new waters, an opportunity to reinvent himself in a different scheme under new leadership with a fresh mission to capture a championship in a new city. It offered personal growth, expanded horizons, and a chance to etch his name in another franchise's legacy. For the Chiefs, his departure brought both a void and a vision. Losing a generational talent always stings, but it also cleared cap space, created fresh opportunity, and demanded innovation. It forced Mahomes and the coaching staff to diversify their attack, evolve their tactics, and prove that their dynasty could adapt and thrive without its most electric weapon. Yet, despite the distance, despite the new uniforms and different locker rooms, the bond between Hill and Mahomes endures. It's a brotherhood etched in the annals of Chiefs history, one built on trust, triumphs, and unforgettable Sundays. No matter where the path leads, that connection will always be more than football. It's legacy. Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, a brotherhood that transcends teams. The enduring bond between Tyreek Hill and his former teammates, especially Patrick Mahomes, remains unshakably strong. Their connection is a living testament to the authentic relationships forged during their shared journey in Kansas City. Relationships built on mutual admiration, shared triumphs, and an unwavering pursuit of excellence. Hill's recent reflections on his relationship with Mahomes revealed the profound depth of their brotherhood. In his candid conversation with Kay Adams, Hill didn't just reminisce about on-field chemistry. He spoke with the heartfelt clarity of a man honoring a pivotal chapter in his professional and personal life. When he stated, "Me and Pat got a good relationship and I want to keep it that way," Hill wasn't simply acknowledging mutual respect between two elite athletes. He was affirming a kinship that transcends the game itself. His reference to Mahomes as a brother underscores the familial culture cultivated by the Chiefs, a locker room where bonds are deeper than contracts and loyalty is written in grit, not ink. Hill's observation that their careers blossom together offers unique insight into the synergistic magic between quarterback and receiver at the highest level. When Mahomes stepped into the spotlight as Kansas City's franchise quarterback, both men stood at crucial crossroads. Mahomes was seeking to prove his worth as a generational talent. Hill, already ascending, was looking to cement his status among the NFL's elite. Their simultaneous rise wasn't a coincidence. It was a partnership where each man's excellence amplified the other's. Their shared development laid the foundation for iconic performances, unforgettable moments, and a legacy that redefined the Chiefs' offensive identity. Hill's admiration for Mahomes' leadership further unveils the quarterback's character and command. He highlighted Mahomes' fearless accountability, his willingness to call out unprepared players with blunt truth. "Get your ass off the field." This no-nonsense style of leadership, anchored in performance and purpose, helped establish a championship standard in Kansas City. Mahomes didn't just lead by talent, he led by example, with an intensity that raised the bar for everyone in the building. Now, donning a Dolphins jersey, Hill has gained fresh perspective on team culture and organizational vision. His bold declaration that Miami is taking the AFC isn't rooted in arrogance, it's rooted in belief. He's seen firsthand what it takes to build a contender. By referencing shocking playoff runs in other sports, Hill underscores a deeper truth. Championships are not dictated by expectation, but by preparation, chemistry, and seizing the moment when it matters most. His understanding of those dynamics, born in Kansas City and carried to Miami, fuels his conviction. The possibility of a postseason showdown between Hill's Dolphins and Mahomes' Chiefs would be poetic, a narrative rich with emotion, legacy, and high-stakes drama. It would be more than a game. It would be a full-circle moment for two warriors whose paths, while separate, remain forever intertwined. A Hill versus Mahomes AFC title clash would electrify fans and analysts alike, delivering storylines only football can write. The contrasting trajectories of both franchises since Hill's departure only add intrigue. The Chiefs have evolved, retooling their offense and proving their ability to thrive even without one of their most dynamic weapons. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are forging a new identity, one centered around Hill's game-breaking ability and veteran leadership. Both teams are investing heavily in surrounding their stars with the talent necessary to chase the Lombardi. Crucially, Hill's ability to maintain strong relationships with Chiefs players and coaches speaks volumes about his character. There's no animosity, no bitterness, only mutual respect and lasting appreciation. By preserving these connections, Hill has displayed the kind of emotional intelligence and maturity that defines true professionals. It's allowed him to pour his full focus into elevating the Dolphins while honoring the legacy he helped build in Kansas City. From a roster perspective, Hill's departure undeniably forced the Chiefs to recalibrate. They've had to identify new receiving threats and evolve their offensive schemes accordingly. But this challenge has also highlighted the adaptability and brilliance of the coaching staff. The organization didn't just replace Hill, they reimagined their attack, proving their commitment to sustain excellence under any circumstances. As both Hill and the Chiefs chart their respective futures, their shared past remains a glowing emblem of what happens when talent, timing, and trust converge. Hill helped redefine the role of a wide receiver in today's NFL while contributing to the Chiefs' rise as a perennial powerhouse. Patrick Mahomes stands at the heart of a dynasty teetering between brilliance and chaos, riddled with injuries, surprise breakout stars, and bold trade whispers. As Kansas City braces for another stormy NFL summer, an electrifying saga unfolds, one that will challenge loyalties, demand evolution, and ultimately determine whether the Chiefs can prolong their championship dominance or crumble under the strain of a rapidly evolving roster. From Isaiah Pacheco's uphill resurgence to a rookie lineman's miraculous rehab, from a forgotten wideout turning heads to explosive trade murmurs and the tantalizing prospect of acquiring a generational tight end. Let's dive into the seismic shifts reshaping Kansas City. But before we unpack the drama, could I ask a quick favor? If you enjoy our content, please hit that like button. It's a simple gesture that fuels this community. Thank you kindly. Isaiah Pacheco, a comeback or a curtain call? Fans still replay the electrifying flashes from Pacheco's early days in Kansas City, his razor-sharp cuts, relentless drive through loaded fronts, and clutch fourth-quarter bursts that propelled back-to-back AFC title runs. But in 2024, that once unrelenting force cracked under the weight of injuries and attrition. A nagging knee injury sidelined him for half the season, casting a shadow over his promising ascent. His return sparked cautious hope, a shot at rekindling the fire that produced 830 yards and 5 scores as a rookie, followed by an even more explosive 935-yard, 7-touchdown campaign in 2023. But every carry lacked its old electricity. He limped to just 310 yards and 1 touchdown, a stat line almost unrecognizable. Enter Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated, whose latest bombshell ignited Chiefs Kingdom. Kansas City's leading rusher in 2025 may not currently be on the roster. Orr's forecast is driven not by spite, but by sharp analytics. The 2025 running back class is stacked, deeper and more dynamic than previous years, potentially triggering a post-camp free agent frenzy. Orr believes Kansas City will dive into that pool, seeking fresh firepower rather than wagering on Pacheco's return to form. It's not a slight, it's strategic insurance. Will the Chiefs double down on their homegrown bruiser or hedge their bets with outside competition? Their decision will define not just Pacheco's future, but the identity of the entire offense. Josh Simmons, the silent guardian in waiting on paper, the Chiefs' O-line looked formidable even after parting with Joe Thuney. But in reality, Mahomes' blind side begged for reinforcement. That's why Kansas City traded up for Ohio State's Josh Simmons at number 22, a move that screamed urgency. Towering at 6'5", 317 lumps, Simmons was once hailed as a future cornerstone until a devastating torn patellar tendon during the college football playoff cast doubt on his draft stock. But the injury allowed him to slip into Kansas City's grasp. At OTAs, Coach Andy Reid was visibly impressed. He's ahead of schedule, he said, eyes gleaming. Simmons isn't taking full reps yet, but the plan is meticulous. Build his confidence in individual drills, then unleash him against elite defenders like Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. ESPN's Adam Teicher recently declared, if Simmons is healthy, he's your week 1 starter at left tackle. That means veteran Jalen Moore, signed as an insurance policy, might never crack the huddle. For Simmons, it's a trial by fire and a chance to become the immovable object shielding Kansas City's greatest asset, Tyquan Thornton. From forgotten to flashy, even in a star-studded receiver room featuring Marquise Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, Juju Smith-Schuster, and rookie sensation Xavier Worthy. Chiefs coaches continue to chase hidden gems. On a blazing Thursday afternoon, one emerged, Tyquan Thornton. The former Baylor burner, once a second-round pick by New England, stole the spotlight with two jaw-dropping catches at OTAs that left defenders flailing. He was everywhere, tweeted Pete Sweeney. Thornton's NFL journey has been turbulent, flashes of brilliance drowned in injuries and inconsistency, but his collegiate finale, 62 receptions, 948 yards, 10 TDs, is a reminder of his true ceiling. Enter Colston Loveland, the Michigan tight end who averaged 2.67 yards per route run and earned a stellar 90.6 PFF receiving grade in 2024. That level of conviction demands several assumptions. That Mahomes sustains elite form deep into his late 30s, that the front office artfully navigates fiscal landmines, and that the ever-shifting landscape of the NFL doesn't veer into chaos over the next decade. But here's the real story beneath the surface. The true takeaway from this firestorm of debate: Chiefs' kingdom is divided. And that division is a direct reflection of a deeper truth, a rising anxiety about whether this dynasty can endure. When you win at the highest level, a different pressure takes root, not just the expectation to win, but to repeat, to surpass, to sustain. Every coaching decision, every roster cut, every play call is now under the microscope. The coaching staff must continue innovating offensively within shrinking fiscal confines. The front office faces agonizing choices: which stars to extend, which legends to let go, and the players themselves must bear the burden of dynasty expectations while knowing that championship windows are fleeting, fragile, and closing faster than most realize. The Brady comparison serves both as inspiration and warning. Yes, 7 rings is the gold standard, a career of historic longevity and triumph. But even Brady required optimal rosters, organizational genius, and some fortunate timing across 2 franchises. His late career run with Tampa Bay proves both sides right. You can win into your 40s if you're great enough, but you must be surrounded by a championship infrastructure, or it doesn't matter. Y'all better strap in, because what I'm about to reveal is going to send shockwaves through the entire NFL universe. This ain't your run-of-the-mill locker room chatter. This is championship tier drama that's got me fired up and locked in. Stay with me until the very end, because I'm dropping some cold, hard truth that every single Chiefs fan needs to hear. Drop a dough in the comments if you still believe in the kingdom. Drop an L if you think the dynasty is slipping. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button while you're at it. Now listen closely, because what we've got brewing in the NFL right now has more plot twists than a primetime thriller, and I'm here to break it all down for you step by jaw-dropping step. See, I've been around this league long enough to know when somebody's blowing smoke, and right now, Miami is lighting up the sky with delusional fireworks. There's a certain wide receiver down in South Beach who's been flapping his gums like he's already got next year's Lombardi trophy sitting on his nightstand. Now, don't get me wrong, confidence is essential in this league. You need swagger to survive. But there's a fine line between confidence and full-blown delusion. And after hearing what this dude had to say, I started wondering if too much Florida sun is frying some brain cells. Let me remind y'all who we're talking about: the Kansas City Chiefs. Not just any football team, the reigning titans of the NFL. A dynasty built on excellence, 3 consecutive Super Bowl appearances, back-to-back titles, a blueprint for sustained dominance. This empire wasn't built on hype. It was forged through brilliant drafting, tactical free agency moves, and a championship culture that breeds winners. Since 2020, no team, let me repeat, no team has reached the mountaintop more consistently than Kansas City. While others flapped their jaws about greatness, the Chiefs were out there proving it week after week. players have come and gone, cap space has tightened, critics have chirped, yet through it all, Kansas City kept stacking wins and raising banners. That's the dividing line in this league, the difference between pretenders and certified contenders. But apparently, some folks got amnesia when it comes to recognizing greatness. Now, let's talk about this former Chiefs receiver. Yeah, the one who used to catch passes from Patrick Mahomes and bask in the glow of championship culture. He knew what it felt like to be part of a machine that wins when the lights are brightest. And now he's in Miami, chirping like the Dolphins are about to steamroll the AFC like it's 1972 all over again. Again, I respect belief. I respect grit. But belief without results, that's just noise. Let's not forget. The Miami Dolphins haven't won a single playoff game since the year 2000. Let that marinate. That's before smartphones.